Welcome, John, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Mark. My pleasure to be here with you today.
John, with the onset of the coronavirus, what has the change of the last 2 months look like at Sullivan Group, and how has your team adjusted to the new normal?
Well, it's certainly been something that we've never had to test before. It came down in the middle of March to a 3-day period where we made the decision to go 100% remote for all of our offices. We had never done that before. We were about 4 days away from going to a laptop and docking station environment. But we basically felt that it was important to get everybody secure and working off site. So we had them take their desktops. We got them additional phone connections and video screens. And lo and behold, 3 days later, we were a remote organization, something we had never done before, something we had never tested. But it's actually been a very interesting and helpful day-to-day operational change that we now know we have capability that we didn't have before.
John, what has changed with your customers, and how have their needs shifted?
Well, we're in the insurance and risk management business, Mark, and obviously this pandemic has posed a significant set of circumstances for so many different industries in terms of managing risk. And, we've had to really adjust and be a part of that process in a variety of different industries, whether it be supply chain issues, getting product from, through the pipeline and, life sciences and pharma business, or, distribution, or, the shutdown, the issues with insurance coverage and the questions that our folks have had. In addition to these new risks that, we're trying to help manage on an enterprise basis, it's a very difficult insurance market because of the financial issues that I think the insurance companies have experienced over the last couple of years. So it's almost a perfect storm where we've really had to be attentive and be available and be proactive in managing our companies and our clients' risk.
Despite all the negatives, has there been a silver lining for you and the Sullivan Group during all this?
I think so. The closest we came to something like this, we had a pipe break in our building on Thanksgiving Day 2 years ago, and we were shut out for a couple of days. And it got us to thinking about how we would really have a disaster recovery plan if something significant happened. In no way did we ever feel that a pandemic would be the cause of that, but we started to move towards being able to adapt to that. And when it happened, fortunately, we were really moving in that direction where it gave us the capability, although we never had the opportunity to test it. But I think really a credit to our staff, the confidence and the commitment and the work ethic that each of them have and that we feel we have together as a group was really the nucleus of us being able to make a move like this and have people work remotely, communicate more with one another electronically, conduct meetings, stacked up on Zoom, continue the business of taking care of our clients uninterrupted. And I give them all the credit in the world for us being able to do that. And now that we're able to do it, I think it creates a whole nother dimension for us going forward.
Throughout the crisis, John, how have you been challenged? And as a leader, what have you had to change?
Well, I personally, I'm on the outside a lot. I like to be out with our customers and visiting with them and talking to them and, and discussing the issues of the day with them. So that's been hard, as it has for all of us. But I think really just managing the day and trying to make it as normal as possible in an environment that you really don't have the structure that you do when you get up and put a suit on and go into the office and you do your routine every day. It's important to try to structure your day with the staff, and we've been able to do, I think, a great job of that with our staff in terms of having a daily meeting, using Zoom technology with our senior management staff, and having a weekly meeting with our entire staff, and then keeping the lines of communications open. So I think it's for me, it's just adjusting to a different structure of the day, and making sure that we're doing the things that can maximize people's ability to perform at a high level.
How do you see your organization's role in the future, and what's going to change?
Well, we use a values-based management model where we really feel strongly that our shared values as an organization are the centerpiece to everything we do, from the staffing, systems, style, everything that we do strategy-wise leads to that. And I really believe, whether it's a sports team or any kind of organization, that you've got to have those fundamentals and foundation in place to be able to deal with an issue like this. And if you're able to execute on that on a day-to-day basis and prepare for your company and your organization to be able to pivot and to be able to change based on your external environment, that's a very strong foundation for future growth. And I really believe that we look at ourselves now as we're not just a remote company, but we've had our vice president of claims that's worked been out of state and done a fantastic job for 8 years, and now we know that we have the ability to work in an environment where maybe people don't necessarily have to be within a 10-mile radius of Central Mass or Eastern Mass. We can attract and retain quality people that can work very effectively in an environment that doesn't necessarily mean being within the same four walls. So I think that really is the takeaway for us, is we have the ability to adjust, we have the ability to be effective, and we have the ability to retain and attract people. And we want to continue our growth as an independent and high quality, value centered organization.
Finally, John, do you have any closing thoughts or words of wisdom that you would like to share with our audience?
Well, I can tell you that, again, I guess it's back to, yours and my roots as coaches, but the preparation that you do every day and the things that lead up to a situation like this happening and being able to adjust, it's not something you can just flip a switch on the day it happens and say, okay, this is who we are now. It's really, I think, doing the things every day, the fundamentals, the value-based activities, and creating your organization in a way that it's got the ability to adapt to anything that you face. And it's just a question of being prepared and making a change, and having the confidence and the trust in the people in the organization that they can execute it. And we're really proud of that. And we that essentially is, we think it's our DNA, and that's what's that's what gets us excited about waking up every day and going to work, whether that's at 1 Mercantile Street or in our living room.
Oh, John, that's great. Again, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Mark.
speaking with you today.